ino mwami Titus ali egayaza twenda ino mwena abatubuliza n'abatugobera okuva ku mikutu egy'endawulo abatugobera ku mukutu gwa YouTube gwa Facebook n'abandi bona na woli wosinzira okugoberera Baba TV tukweyanziza ino Titus Recheraho ali egayaza munangwe bali kubanga oli kutugobera bulungi abendo gobera jja ku mikutu gyaffe gya YouTube Baba TV Uganda atebo wenda kugoberera ebifa ku mikutu jange okugoberera nze jja ku Simon Muyanga Lutaaya Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on Twitter Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on YouTube Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on Facebook Simon Muyanga Lutaaya on TikTok, whatever you want to find me weda kundaga ntusobola okuwaya bulungi maniza mincho ya lero nga bulido tudakuba tuwaya ku bintu kamale baire mu kitundu kyaife nga tukali jagala nendo okuyozaliza banaife ab'ekigulu basoga banange ab'eisaza ly'ekigulu mu bwangobi bwa kigulu nendo okubayozayoza okutuuka ku kye mwatuuseeku muyogeyoge okubita mu mikolo gyaife emirungi egy'ebyobuwangwa mwasobola okulonda nate omusika wa lata waife izimba gologolo yatuva ku maiso era nendo okwaniza mu ngeri y'endawulo omulangira Gilbert gologolo ngobi wa kigulu omuyaka yamaze okulondebwa n'okolebwako emikolo sebo tukwaniriza lata waife kola emirimu emirungi tukwendeza ekiseera ekirungi tukwendeza amazima n'okulwana entebe ya data eyo kubanga latawo yalwanirira ino entebe eyo yakuuma enono d'abadadabe yakuuma namulondo y'abadadabe okusala atuuse okukisa mukono ng'agemereire obwangobi bwa kigulu twenda kusaba lata nti omulimu ogwe tukusuubira mu kola nga Katonda n'omubeezi wo bw'oli nti olina mulenzi muto tumulembe muto oyinza kutambuza ebintu bino bulungi kale banaife ab'ekigulu abava ekigulu mukwano gwange Buyinza Abdurrahim agoberere ino ebintu ebyate nga natera okubituweereza banaife abasasi b'amawulire okuva eyo mwena natubaniriza ino sebo lata yaife yogayoga kuti kigulu erina ngobi waayo omulangira Gilbert gologolo ngobi wa kigulu asikire izimba Patrick gologolo yatuva ku maiso emikolo ndozanga buli kujibana kyo bikyatambwire kale njala okubaniza mwe nate bannaffe usoga erina abakulembeze b'amasaza 11 esaza erimu libaterina mukulembeze kuva yali aliyo izimba Patrick gologolo yatuva ku maaso kale oyo mpya zakemabega wali badola z'ekintu kyenjagala obulungi oyo mpya kati yalondeddwa omulangira Gilbert gologolo ngobi wa kigulu bantu bali ku misito gya nnyama nga basanyuka oyo ye mukulembeze omujja ow'essaza eryo bamusiza mikolo mirungi bulungi. You know, when they take a goat and get out the goat's pancreas and then tell you to drink all the liquid in there, you know how bitter it tastes, but that's one of the rituals that the Basoga go through when they are installing their cultural leaders. Kale, Busoga is now duly constituted. All the 11 chiefdoms have their chiefs fully installed. Not the 10. There is one that has issues. I think Butembe still has issues. It is oscillating between the right and the wrong one. But I think that will be addressed. Kale, tubayozayoziza ino Katonda abayamba okutambuza emirimu gyaimu bulungi lata gaife wangala ino omulangira Gilbert gologolo. Mu byalo ebitujja okubiyita mu gavumenti yaife nga bw'edi tulina ebintu Kamala Joseph Tamale Mirundi bana bali wano tulina kubita mu bintu bingi nga nenda kubebaza bitubaire mu kitegere bulungi nti okusoma kuli kukomekereza amasomero gali kumaliza okusoma lusoma luno lusooka ndooza nga binayita November n'omwezi gwe tulimu abasinga bada bamaliriza ate nga abanaife abakyomusanvu ebibuuzo babimaze abasini eyokunabona ebibuuzo babimaze banaife abasini ya 6 advance 7 abali kujja okutandika okola ebigezo byabwe tubendeze ekiseera ekirungi tubendeze okuba ku bulungi mukyala Janet Museveni Minisita w'ebyendegeresa yakobye abazaire nti banange gye muli eyo mufube ino okukuuma abaana abawala balube kufuna mabunda akoba ati abaana bano bwe munabagayalirira niboononeka abaana bano bayimwe mutwale ekiseera nga bwe nako bakulula as a good parent obuvunaanyizibwa buli eri gwe omuzadde okulaba nti omwana wo omuyambako abaana baba n'ebyo bamanyi, baba n'ebyo baagala, baba n'ebyo basobola. N'emirundi egisinga okubajjamu ebintu ebyo byetaaga omuzadde okuwaayo obudde otegere abaana bye beetaaga, otegere bye baagala, otegere bye basobola. Nga bwe ntera okugera bulijjo, si buli bye beetaaga nti biba bituufu, si buli bye beetaaga nti biba birungi. Naye ggwe nga omuzadde bw'omala okuwuliriza ebyo bye beetaaga, ate kikuyamba okusobola okusalawo nti kino kituufu, kino si kituufu, n'obatereeza. Abaana be tulina ennaku zino, in the era we are living in, tebakyali bakulagira bulagizi gwe kyoyagala, you impose it on them. Abaana bafuuka bakuwuliriza, and you build from what they have. It's not about kubawa gwe kyoyagala. Bwe twali tukula ffe bwe kyali, maama yagamba kola kino, kola kino, kola kino, kola kino. Tulina abaana ba mirundi ebiri mu Lungereza. We grew up in a what generation? Kola kino, I do what? Abaana babuuza, what should I do? Now we are in a generation of the why. Omwana gw'ozaala akubuuza, bw'omwana nti kola kino akubuuza nti why should I do that? Nkole ekyo lwaki? So you must have the why question, you must have the reasons to defend what you want them to do, of course under the limitations of you being a parent. Kale, Joseph Tamale Mirundi, mutabani wa Yohana Mirundi, mulina wano, era njagala kumwaniriza. Simanyi wali tulinga abali mu ssabo, eno enkofiira ate yo si eya bulijjo. Waliwo ate eri enkofiira ennene, ziri enkofiira 3. Tulinga abali mu katale k'enkofiira. What's the problem?
Nti eno enkofiira ya bwakadidinaali eva Zanzibar.
Ate
okugikuwa
eyava wakadinaali eva Vatican.
Dini yaffe ogikuwa olina okuba nga okoze miracles ezisukka 10.
Wakadinaali sitegedde kyo.
Dini yaffe daffe tuleetinga abantu. Kati enkofiira tesaaga.
So mu ddiini ki?
Eyaffe.
Nti yeeruwe y'Abakatolika?
Eyaffe eri. Era muganda nga yafudde. Muganda nga abadde abeera butawuka. Swahili Bosali. Naye abadde ayina emizinga ng'egyange. Omulala bamuyitanga Budatatiifu Kiggundu. Naye yali ayina emizinga ng'egyange. Kakati nze ndina mizairo ezikuuma famire.
So oli yafudde. Kana bigenda kudda wuwo.
Kakati titiiza okujja mu
ne omusajja yafukamira mu maaso ga Paapa nakwata mutwe. Toswala ebintu ebyo obiwuliriza.
Paapa yagenda Nigeria, enkuba n'ejja okutonnya. Enkuba bw'ejja okutonnya nga Paapa talina kyakkola. Baleeta omusajja alinga nze n'awuuba embooba enkuba n'egenda. Paapa n'amukwata mu ngalo. Amaanyi ge kardinaali oyo wamala mugende mu interviewing yagenda mu kizinga eyo muleke Victoria ne banyiiga yali agenze ku fundraising ku Kereziya. Basajja bannakenya be bali ku kizinga ekyo ne bamugamba nti otuwadde amabaati ameka nti 5. Amusini hata 5. Kardinaali n'abala 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ne basirika.
Amabaati 5?
Yes. Ne bamutera mu birabo bibaamuwa ne bamuteramu endiga. Endiga tesala nnyanja. Kardinaali kept quiet. Omusomesa n'amugamba endiga eyo tojja gitwala yasirika busirisi. Babayingira ennyanja ekiddo ne kitimba ennyanja. Sapule ne zikoolooba. Naye obudde bwe bwaziba ng'enzikiriza ekutte. Ekiddo kitimbye ennyanja. Endiga baagijjamu ne bagisuula nga tebamubuulidde. Ekiddo ne kita. Naye bwe yatuuka ku lukalu teyabuuza ndiga. Yesu yajja kujjawo kalikya.
Ebyo byali ku Kardinaali Wamala?
You can interview him. Reporter yali mwenyina wa Nambooze. Mugende mwenyina wa Nambooze Mukono.
Endiga baagisuula. Ekiddo ne kita.
Endiga tesala nnyanja tasala kalikya. Kakati muganda ng'oyo yafudde abadde abeera butawuka.
Butawuka?
Ebitambala bayitawo butawuka.
Butawuka, I thought you were talking about.
Abadde alina abaana 8. Ansinza 10. abadde ansinza 10
abaana ayina abaana 80 akusinza 10
abadde ansinza 10
olina abaana 7
ate abadde mukulu abadde ansinga kakati nkugamba omanyi mmwe kyemutamanyi kasatu kuba abasajja bano nga badduka
you have 70 children
babadde bakasoba kubanga badduka boge magezi gaabwe ge bayina
so eno enkofiira ya kalinaali ate ziri
eno enkofiira tugiyita nseegumire era entunga yaayo giraba nti yeemu naye yavudde Zanzibar
eno nseegumire
eno tugiyita nseegumire
ate ku nseegumire nabako Muhoozi
tugiwa muzira ng'ali mu lutalo nseegumire ensi yaguma omuzira agumire yaguma ng'eyibaale
so eno ya Muhoozi ate eri
eno era nayo yeemu tuli mu lutalo
ya Muhoozi
kuba bwe tubakubanga badduka kakati
nze ndowooza nti otandise okukaddiwa
bagenze
okaddiwa n'emize gy'otagenda
kakati bagenze ewa pulezidenti ku weekend nga balina strategy kumukanga nti Muhoozi akuba enkuŋŋaana. Museveni yabagambye yakoze eki as he made a political statement kale namwe mugende mukube oba kubakuŋŋaana namwe mugende mukube
ye Museveni oyo
nebakomawo what the argument tebo balowooza nti Museveni is fighting his father mukicreating. I want to tell you mugende mbagambe bampa akatabo kange the lion and the Masai warrior. Nobody can fight Museveni in this country. Muhoozi knows his father. But I'm asking you, do you believe if Muhoozi is bearing against his father, would he be moving with his uncles? Because Museveni, the chair, is the head of the Kaguta family. It
is possible because politics is different.
It is not. Museveni is and Muhoozi knows his father.
So what is he doing then?
Yes. It must be, the battle is between the Kaguta family and the Bakoto. The Bako thought that the Kaguta family was easy. You can grab power from them. Ngasalacha ina na masasi mugundi. Where did your father fight? Museveni spent 5 years in the bush. Do you know what happened to the Kaguta family?
During those 5 years. Neither we agree that Museveni went to the bush for 5 years. He has been in power for 35 years.
Yes.
Teyesa sulanga beyafirwa. So the Kaguta family needs how many years okulaba nti besa sunde bibafirwa. That mentality from abantu abaso.
Na mutunuulira ne mutunuulira. Ne mugamba Museveni oyo musajja mugezi. Museveni can put you on a self-destruction mission. You go to him, you ask him something, nolozo muwangudde. Nenga he is ruling the snakes out of their holes. There is no way Muhoozi can fight his father.
So what is he doing there?
Yes.
Because he is still talking.
Yeah. Kakati mwembadde mulowooza nti Muhoozi ajja kukuba bidongo ajja kukola ki? Mumulwanyisiza nti ave mu magye. Mumulwanyisiza nti ave mu gundi.
Tetumulwanyisa tugamba it is the order that Mr. Museveni has said that whoever wants to join politics needs the army.
Nekugamba nti natulya lwabugo nga warrior the Masai warrior.
I want you to leave that one now. Tugende kubala, you leave that one. Because it's not in the contest today.
Nakugamba nti Museveni tasaga. Museveni detects enemies from far, but it takes a long time to act. He lures the snakes out of their holes. For example, he watches Mama Mbabazi's activities for a long time until the fall of the hammer. I always ask people for Museveni to strike a deal with Galuga, Mbabazi's rival, and the dropping of Mbabazi, what came first. Nkugamba, Museveni directed officials of NADS to inject billions of money into Galuga's business. even before dealing with Mbabas. Museveni also promoted Henry Tumukunde to Lieutenant General. Then it was an energized Tumukunde who fought Mbabas. Museveni also did not listen to complaints about General Kali Kaihura until the hammer fell. He sacked his younger brother, General Salim Saleh, from the position of the army commander, from the office of the state minister for finance. Museveni surrendered his in-law, Alice Kaboyo, when she found herself caught up in the Gavi Fund scandal. Kaboyo was seen carrying her mistress to Luzira prison. He, Museveni, opened and owned a live televised program, disagreed with his wife on reopening of schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. The question is why the two would disagree in public.
A man who can disagree with his wife live on TV. But I think at the time they disagreed, it was the president versus the minister. Minister of Education and the president of the country.
A story is of his close relative who stole his cows. And Museveni reportedly surrendered the man to law enforcement officers for prosecution. It is rumored that Muzeyi's father, the late Muzeyi Amos Kaguta, saved the man by taking a hunger strike. Museveni mwita wakuzanya. Nti Muhoozi yepankira kutaatawo. Ngabuno obugwagwa bw'obuzava bw'obukola babuwa sente. Ninkugamba, in 1986, the most powerful woman in NRM, the most powerful women in NRM were Madam Gertrude Njuba and Hajati Janet Mukwaya. When escorts of the late Oliver Zizinga killed a suspected criminal, Museveni surrendered her to face the law. Zizinga was only released by court even when she had lost 9 children in the war. Zizinga lost 9 children in the war. It came a time that the Tuchamoboli and Umana were food. Museveni yamuyita ekikunyu to defeat Kayira. Naye base court ibe kasaba ku bumuntu surrendered her to the law enforcement officers. This is the Museveni you should understand. Negamba Museveni sacked General Eri Tumwine, a member of the 27 pioneers of the Rural Bush War. General Tumwine is one of the Bush War heroes with a permanent reminder of the Kabamba attack when he lost an eye. Those who were in the bush know the role Chobe played during the initial stages of the struggle. There's a man called Chobe. Even when Museveni was leaving for Libya to meet Muammar Gaddafi in 1983, he spent the night at Chobe's house. However, when Chobe found himself on the wrong side of the law, he was arrested and surrendered to the law.
So you agree that Museveni is not easy to fight?
No. Haji Serunjoji, you don't know him, was recently arrested on the orders of the State Minister Sam Mayanja, contributed enormously to the NRM struggle. One of his wives was grabbed by the soldier during the Bush War days, only to be reunited with Serunjoji after the war. And in spite of this, Serunjoji was put behind the bars. During the Gavi Fund scandal, Professor Gilbert Bukenya, the former vice president, who used to call himself Mahogany, was also put in prison and had to face the law.
Now,
Sam Kutesa, whose daughter is married to Museveni's son, and the two married from the same family, also suffered the same fate. He was dragged to the dock and humbled to the bone marrow. The only thing he got was seeing Museveni's family members present in the court. Major General Gimu Muhwezi, whose wife played the role of Senga at the handover ceremony for Museveni's daughter, also found himself in Luzira prison during the Gavi scandal. What about General Moses Ali? He arrived in Uganda from Wekizera aboard a cargo plane with the Land Rovers and the bodyguards. Upon meeting him, Museveni said, I quote, "You killed the people and I killed people. Therefore, no apologies." Moses Ali was demanding for the vice presidency according to the Tripoli agreement of the city. He used to attack Museveni during NRC days until he was arrested, charged with the treason, and imprisoned for more than 2 years. Whatever he has today has been achieved on Museveni's terms. What about Lieutenant General Andrew Lutaaya, who single-handedly parodied the Kanu and defended Museveni across Lake Victoria from Kajans to Kisumu on his way to Libya in 1983? What about General Pecos Kutesa, who was Museveni trusted ADC? He accompanied Museveni to Libya in 1983. However, when he failed to capture parliamentary building during the final stages of the war, Museveni replaced him immediately, and he died after a drinking spree for idleness. My submission is that era nze bagendayo ne bamugamba nti omusajja atambula n'ekidomola kya acid ate kayigula yampa permission. Have a letter from the Inspector General of Police. Ne bamugamba omusajja alina ekidomola kya acid, alina emitayimbwa, alina ennyondo, alina emmundu. Omanyi Museveni bwe yabagamba? Yabagamba tokyogera. Yabagamba oyo mwangu nnyo. I don't need to disarm him. Ayire kasidi omuntu ogu oba afulumye ku saseri ngenda muba babonereza okusinga ne kitata. Amaye fulu. Museveni bamuzanyirako. Amaye fulu.
So asidi we yasigala mu motoka
mbuyina for self defense. Bo bali bagenze bamugambe disarm him. Ne bagenda ne bamugamba bo butambi bwe bakuba. Nti Mirundi atulemesezza ebya COVID kubanga mbakutte nga bali ya sente. Ne bakoma we wa Kalisa. Kalisa ne mugamba nze ebyuma byange biva balaba. Ali bwati mpita wa kuzannya. Ate yonero muyolawo. Yabagamba mugende muwabire mu court. Take him to court. Ne bagenda ne bamugamba, how do you entrust these sophisticated machines to a madman? Give them to situated people like Kandiho. Yabagamba, that madman will retain the machines. Tia akali bikete abo opposition nabaga no. Abo opposition imbeketera nimu muri stubborn yabasobola.
Museveni abagamba about Mirundi.
There is no way Muhoozi can antagonize his father. Amusibirawo.
Naye by your own words wadoga nti the battle is between abajozi n'abajogeddwa. Nate byonyire biraga nti Museveni buli mujoza amukolako, buli mujoza amukutteko. So mujozi kyakumalira obudde. He has capacity to address
a political rope to hang yourself. Museveni embarks, he encourages you to embark on the self-destruction mission. Tibana abakuya batunuli. I have a meeting, bali na kisozi. Nasaba ministries nazimu. Buli gwabadde ayagala nga amugoba. Nenga yi Museveni omwana wa Muhoozi. Have you had any scandal involving Muhoozi? Have you seen Muhoozi making a statement about politics? Is he Islam? That's why you asked them. Has he made any statement?
We saw a scandal when he wrote about Kenya in a tweet. Yes. Actually, his only scandals are tweets.
But what has he done?
Scandals.
Yababuli anti-Tigray rebels must have been, he supported them. I was watching television and I saw Obasanjo negotiating a deal between the Ethiopian government and
the Tigray rebels.
Because he's a soldier. He believes in Pan-Africanism.
Actually, nobody has doubted his credentials in the military.
Has been telling you, M23 cannot be fought. Are they Congolese? Do they have reasons to fight? What if, when Museveni went to the bush, Nyerere sent more troops here because the Tanzanians were here. And when Museveni attacked Kakiti, Tanzanians were killed. But what Nyerere did, he evaluated the situation. Is Museveni fighting for cause? These are Ugandan issues. Nyerere ordered his troops to go back to Tanzania. There was no ceremony. He left here skeleton staff of trainers. Tanzania training a military team, so the North Korean commandos and British advanced.
So having explained what you have explained, what then is Muhoozi doing?
Yes.
if he's not fighting his father, what Nyambo Ntegeza akola chika
Muhoozi is helping younger people to develop their talent. Atina bagambi.
If he was helping young people develop their talents, then he would help Bobby Wine too, because Bobby Wine is a young man whose talent is undoubted.
But what is more important is that why do you see the close relatives of Museveni accompanying this younger man whenever he goes? And why? I take it as a upper hand. Yanti Kuburia, Kubaka race in Mubabiti. I take an equal dish of Sir, what Tango doing, passing resolutions. How can you shout at me when I'm entering a taxi park? You not enter my car. Am I going to your car?
I'm simply entering a taxi park.
Yes.
You may never know which taxi I pick.
What's the role of Tango doing? Is to wait for candidates to clear them, whether they have valid papers, whether they have qualifications, and surrender them to the delegates conference. Where do you find a person? Banange tewali alamuzizaako olwaleero, a trader will feel embarrassed. Ebintu betwali na alamuzizaako.
Wakiri okulamuzaako ne bwe batagula.
But where do you find a party that is ring fencing seriously before the elections? What if these MPs adopt the same method? Tinewange temujjayo. Tango do itakitegeera. He's an academic idiot. You would even be happy to say our party has attracted several candidates because we have those who express their wishes, we have the aspiring candidates, we have hopefuls who can also graduate into candidates. Tachimanyi yasoma political science.
Yamunsomesa yete yamusoma.
Tiyita mumanyi.
Eyasomesa
bezi zikabitabu. Yasomesa ngachi. Yasomesanga diguli bagita BA flat.
Ani.
Tuyine kyosoma.
Edda sebo. Tango do yatusomesa obusomesa. Yasomesa nga.
That's why I have not gone for PhD. I have not gone for PhD because
he's a good teacher by you.
I'm not impressed.
One of the best professors
I have not been impressed by a professor except one, Professor Mukwaya, Musoga. Professor Mukwaya had an indelible impact on me in the political science.
So your result of Professor Mukwaya?
Another one, Mosin, was 2.
Only?
2.
They are the only professors you know?
No. So, kakati ona amazo bafunako upper hand. Until the race is between the two. Unprecedented. 2 people, Museveni and his son. Where do you find it? And these people have kegged themselves. Why? In the face of panic, what have they done? Resolution is bagana okuleta candidate omulala kitegeeza nawe abadde ayagala bakugalidde weggaliddeyo. You have to abide with these resolutions.
Is it not the right of Tango Doi as the chairman of the NIM Electoral Commission to clear the air? Because there are people asking.
The mistake was made. Tango Doi has, this man, Tadongo, has also made a mistake. If journalists come and ask me about our campaigning, if I'm Tadongo, a smart guy like me who did the public relations, I would say we have no vacancy.
Simple. We
have no vacancy.
Which is the truth.
Yes, there is no vacancy until Museveni's mandate expires.
Until Tango Doi declares.
Yes. Until the Electoral Commission declares.
Why are your Muhoozi Nkofiras yellow?
Yes. And we shall have a Muhoozi day.
You are not answering the question. Lwaki Nkofira za Muhoozi muzitunga mu kala ya kyenvu? Eriko
kakati gwe kitibu kibuuzi. Lwaki campaign team ya Muhoozi eriko chairman's team? Chairman yani. Have you been able to study the chairman?
Chairman yani.
Anti chairman yani.
Chairman yani. Ani chairman wa Muhoozi.
Ati nkubulidde. Chairman's team. Chairman yani.
Chairman yani.
Ndi Muhoozi.
Goliyo, chairman yani.
I had taken the time some years before talking to my friend Sally. But yesterday I had contact with him. Yes. Why? Nemo mulizi
singawakwire ne mubuulira by'omwogerako wano
nti sali tayinza kukkiriza nelemu era badde ayagala stories zange zinamuwandikangako mu nsiko nemwe mulowooza. You see, let me tell you, you must be realistic. When a nun joins the Catholic Church, he does not expect to be a bishop.
Because it is not possible.
Yes.
It is not possible.
How can you say that a son-in-law can succeed his father? Obaba amusebeni tebaliwo abasale bajja.
Obiyise bya kikanti muganda wo omutabani wa muto oba wa mukulu we.
A liberated country is like a hunted animal. A liberated country is like a hunted animal. When you look at American politics, they used to ask you, where were you during the Second World War? Where were you during the Vietnam War?
So that we know that you have been part of this from the start.
So unless you plan, these people, the way they are fighting Muhoozi is the way I have defeated them. The argument was that if you impoverish this man, we will come kneeling before us. Attempts were made. The president told them, get 5
Actually, ate bali bakusobodde. Waliwo watembe yango bukofiira yasoma political science
ate bansasula
bukofiira ne babukwatira
mobilize ate bansasula
no babukwata because you had gone
ate buno babusasuliddewo. Across the bridge there is no more sorrow. Across the bridge there is no more pain. The sun will shine across the river and you will never be unhappy again. N'obusuuti bwonna obukadde nabwokezza obwavumbuvuddemu nekyo yiniiza eno group officially baguliddewo bo
obukofiira
ono yabubulaka t-shirt muzimu temusasula. President yali asazeewo nze mbambalabu ku byuma byange. President yali asazeewo to move with me during the election n'afuna jajja sente ayina kubeera kakikoko ayina kugenda ku NBS. Kakati the way you underestimated me is the way you have underestimated Muhoozi. Muhoozi has never uttered a word.
You are singing it today that across the river, across the bridge, there is no more sorrow. So you have crossed.
Yes, I have crossed. Kubanga kye nabaleeta tebakitegeera. Nabaleeta ne mbagamba, let us give Museveni, let us amend the constitution. Why? We are going to get a popular younger man atufuga emyaka 6. Reinstate term limits. Ligani yagamba, nsigadde mukyanjagala. Change our constitution. The Americans did not start with the term limits. Since you have the power to remove and reinstate, kakati term limits is hard. But in 1956, President wa America yabagonda ebigo 3. Congress nga siye n'eritikiteeso tikitandikakako mu America. Kati term limits nabagamba, let us reinstate term limits. Ekyo tukireete. Nembaga nti I know. Term limits are instated by a president who wants to check his successor. Obaliko sayiro batali. Jerry Rawlings yamanya nti mbi abantu amasasu enkoze ntya tiye kuba yateekawo kulunda Limandi n'akuwangula Dr. Limandi n'amuggyako kati n'akola constitution. Ya 4 years. N'ategeera nti in Ghana bwe nfuna hostile president anfugira emyaka emeka. Eri nyumba ya Jerry Rawlings bajocha. He survived in Ghana because he is married to a princess. Kakati constitution mugizeewo. That was my argument. The second argument nti Museveni tumuwe emyaka egyo with an assignment. Harmonizing members of his family. Kati Muhoozi temukyamusobola abakubye n'abamalawo bano balina ku concede defeat. They are vanquished. Vanquished cannot dictate terms of surrender. They must surrender to Muhoozi. 2. Tuteekewo reconciliation process. Ti omusajja omukambwe nga Bobi Wine mulikonsayiringe naye abaana be mbasasule. Reconciliation process. Why do you believe that Raila Odinga cannot rule Kenya? Bamusiba nnyo ne bambonyabonya bwakwata ku power abadduse emisinde. Muyibamu bonyabonya change the constitution gundi nga bino bibabaddemu nti Museveni asigale for how long? In Malawi the first lady Mama Kazamira bamugamba nti Kamuzi Banda is Sinairo. Nagana. Let him stay in power. Was decisively defeated. Kazemira refused thinking that he will control Sinairo Kamuzi Banda. Bakiri Muhoozi yamukuba akalulu. So we evaluate mine nagenda okulaba nga Haji Moses yuko nga kiyingiddemu. Kana akawala simanyi gateway plan nali nakawulidde dda nga bo bagamba Mirundi olaba ali awo Museveni waali. Kakati ngenda okulaba abakiyingiddemu nga bo bategedde Muhoozi abakubye. Era for the first time I got a paragraph in a monitor ekitabangayo. Nentegeera bano balowooza sibala. They think I don't calculate. Nenkuba ate kyenateeta nenkuba idea yange baali bagiwamba bajje bawambe sente
ewa Museveni wavuddeyo
anavuddeyo ntya nafumbiddwa mu family yemu. Museveni for 20 years has failed to solve my financial problems kubanga omuko Erichi Mirundi is a nuclear bomb nina kubeera minister mukinga nfugiramu ndi maje ga Germany mu NATO. A man who has the brain, you control me. He can only go to he can only go to NBS where he's controlled. To control my head on Padechi. I refuse. When I was a sentiment, but I cannot work in NBS. Kalisa nali mwasizomutu. Gwe engeri yakukubamu yali yakintu. Kalisa the way he treated you. Nekundi yali nemugagwe Kalisa kwate ebyuma bino abasajja bano babadde mu State House. What is this? Amaze okulya sente akoma bajjo yamuwonya kintu kibala mu kintu nzeeyo waliwo omusobozi akwagala wano yekwese mu kabira kera n'entuma y'obbala ani aliyo nti Kalisa namala n'ojjuba mu bweti bemwasa omutwe ekibuli ebereejeneza. I caused you a case where you took my 10 billion. Are you calling me back to create a case for you of $1 billion? This people operate on contradictions. If I'm a mad man, according to Dr. Kurubi and Dr. Kabushen, can you make me an advisor? First take me to Botanic clear me. This is how I operate. You cannot make contradictions on me.
If you call a man who wrote a resignation letter and say when I voluntarily wrote a resignation letter and addressed a press conference, then I know that there is a problem. You gather information. But anyway, now that you crossed from Museveni to Muhoozi, because you have said you are of the pain, no salawali sanyu, ne suit your zokeza, are you available? You are forgetting one thing, Mirundi. Naba Muhoozi bagenda kudampinga. Gwe muntu asingo kwa munamalo wa amanye wa Muhoozi. Tebakusude wone balonda Frank Gashumba kola ku byamawulire. They dumped you.
And you don't know.
They dumped you bakusude.
You don't know what is happening.
Backward dechi.
The Gashumba group sobola jijoyininga. Why? The Gashumba group temanyi history ya NRM. When we went to the bush, many Baganda were scared. Why? Nti bano bali bamaze okugenda Mozambique. Museveni yayingira mu Folonasa.
Mirundi, katandikira
let me explain.
Wala bikawawanvu.
Let me explain. Kakati mwete mukimanyi. Bwe mba mwine ekintu kye mutandika kuwako kowe ekikuuma, not to be infiltrated. Kati Bagashumba bagamba, this is a Bahima issue. Miyamu not a tribalistic.
Ati bagamba nti Bahima issue nga balonza abantu balonza abantu kaga mu basatu okuva ebusoga Arua Buganda, which is actually now more of a nationalistic.
Who presided over their meeting? Their issue is bonna balwanira Jesus. Abatabulika bonna balwanira Nabi Muhammad. They differ. Bano bonna revival churches bonna ba Jesus. These people are not a break away from Muhoozi. But the way they are, because they are not the real tactics. Do you expect Muhoozi, even if Muhoozi harbors president's ambitions, you think he would just make a structure that exposed to the enemy? Nze yanno ndokubera ku team ye organizing committee ne bankubira simu nembagamba okuli kiwanuka ne kalugire sijja kutuulako
ozalibwa n'obukyayi ku bantu
nembagamba nti Muhoozi team is infiltrated sijja kubeerayo kubanga I'm not looking for jobs. I have the brain.
Obakino kyabadde Democratic bagambye abawagira Muhoozi beerondemu mirundi bakusudde tebakuyita nakuyita balonze Gashumba. Imagine Gashumba is their media strategist gwe bakusudde, you are not there.
The very day they had their election, we were having a party at Kololo, Gundi. Do you know how I was treated at Kololo? Kenzo. Do you know that when I went to greet these ministers, except Nabanja, all of them stood up? Do you know that I found a table specifically for me? Do you know that this man invited me even in the dressing room? Do you see the pictures I took with the chairman Toyota? And do you know what the meetings that followed up the meeting?
So as it becomes a political gathering?
I'm telling you.
It was a music concert.
Nti Muhoozi ya developing bitone bya abantu. Is not interested in politics. Yet, how do you know whether Muhoozi is campaigning for his father? So the use of Mirundi.
What are you saying?
Mirundi.
You are speaking. You are confusing us. What Sayinka said. If you read a book and you fail to understand it, you say it was not meant for you. Muhoozi singa gano okwesimbawo ate kitaawe nadda nga tuga nti across the bridge ogambye you across the bridge. What will you do?
We must harmonize. The battle is between Kaguta family and Abagalo Chiolawo. As if the Kaguta family did not ezo jijamu ekintu kyayo.
So the presidency in Uganda
transferring CDs to a modern machine. What does this mean? It means Museveni Mirundi feeds Museveni, not vice versa. Kubabu bagamba nti yamulagira okutuvuma. Ye yamuwa order n'akuvuma.
Ani Museveni yalagira govuma abantu.
Kakati ate bagenda okitegeera. Somebody was watching. Waliwo gwe yagamba n'amugamba yajja n'anyumiza banne nti ankubidde akatambi n'enfuka ne mu mpale. N'asooka ndeka ne mu kkubo. Waliwo yabba 20 billion mu Bank of Uganda. Namuga return that money. Return it there. Bring it here.
Museveni. Ngagamba azibbi.
Yes. Nazimutwalira. Nakoma unanyumiza banne. What did he tell you? The man was watching him and he asked him, have you returned the money? Yes. Where is it? It's here. Okay. Go. Could I move?
Huh?
My legs were trembling. Museveni agamba bisente mu Bank of Uganda nti zirete one.
Nazikomyawo.
Ate yali azina mulala yali azibye. Uncle Sam gave him this money. Nze mbasi balaba.
Nazizaayo.
Ne banoonya buli wamu. Ne baga the only person who is delivering these CDs is natural. Why? There is nobody in Uganda who can not sell this information to us. Era akulo omulimo gwe gwali gwakwata abantu babeke ku social media. Waliwo Leya Museveni raised $400 million from World Bank n'ateekawo Leya zonna baazibba. Sente zonna baazibba. $400 million was stolen. Nga waliwo omusajja bamuyita tuli agenda ne Walichi Mugisu. Babagamba nze nayogerako nabo. Walichi ne tuli agenda. Twasisinkana mu nnyumba.
Is this information that you came across while you were press secretary?
For us, twali mu nyumba ne mbagamba nendeka abaserikale bangati distance nengenda n'ebyange ne mbaguza ennyumba yonna. If there is somebody who is hiding here, I explode myself. Ne bandamuza ennyumba yonna n'emifaliso ne bangagwe katukubuulire bado basaaga. If they want to arrest us, they should give us a judge who is going to grant us bail. Sife twazirya genda obuze wali kyentu lya agenda. Era Museveni was defeated. What he has done is to return Leya. Waliwo engineer Gundi, engineer Lutwama, yali amanyikinga sente bamutegeera nti yabalemesa yali yatwala sente baali baagala kumutta namala mutwala mu nkofiira eyo namutwala mu eyo enkofiira Kabangali yali emugoba mutta ne yeefula n'ettabana. When you see me dressed in nice suits, you think I'm a human being like you.
What are you?
When you see me dressed in nice suits, era nze neewuunya abasajja bagumu. Oyinza kusanga ali abasajja abasaba bakyala bange ku Ebola. Omanyi kati bamuyita Ebola. Mpa ku Ebola. Owa Musenero, owe Achenji, kuba abantu tebamulaba. Ali Kasanda. Kati abantu bamudura matayizi.
Ebola yatuuse Jinja.
Ebyo babadde bebikola to halt Muhoozi's activities. But they contradict themselves. Once you contradict yourself, nze mbakubira ku contradictions. In a situation where the Ministry of Education has given guidelines on how parents should want to collect their children because of fearing Ebola, how can at the same time a government company organize embutu yembutikizi?
The big story on Baba TV. So those anti-Ebola is you think Ebola is not real?
But because there is no country.
What's your problem with Ebola?
52 people in 2 months.
Yes.
How many people have died in accidents? About malaria. Ebola is a curable disease with available drugs. Why don't you go and buy drugs? Mafias don't solve a problem. And when the president came up, me, I'm not doubting that it is there's no country that is a disease.
Ebola exists?
Yes, but it's exaggerated. Bagireta ku Christmas akolera okodawo ni city. Supermarket zabo zitunde. Jeno Kayanja agende wasale. Amugambe nti ebifuru by'abayimbi byonna mbisasule. Mumu ablockers. This commercializing a disease is very dangerous. You think mbabuuza ne mbagamba ti abasiraamu bagamba nti Katonda bw'akoowa omukulembeze aleetere eggwanga eryo endwadde ezitawona. Is it true? No. Museveni is loved by God. Has hosted two popes, an Anglican. But these are commercializing diseases. The areas where they get cheap money is the Prime Minister's Office for Relief and Ministry of Health. These are the areas of exploitation. For how many years has Museveni directed that the people of Ubuntu would be shifted? These people, when you go to Goma, Goma has a volcano mountain. They study it. It first emits omukka ne bamanya egenda enkya ne bakomawo. Japan, Tokyo, ekibuga Tokyo kiri ku nsi bwe yeetooloolera. Every 45 years musaaki kuba. They are improving technology, reducing the number of deaths. You don't study. So people know. Abantu kwa
So who exaggerates Ebola and for what benefit?
Money. Museveni is a mean man. You only squeeze money from him. Bobera n'abaana nga bakumanyi togaba ssente obalaba ku mpingo nga babaleese. Abakazi bano abakwana obusajja obukopikopi nabo bubaleetera emisango. Ojja kuswala madamu ogenda kuswala. Didn't I tell you story? Tiabana ku university, including my son, one of my sons. Baba yingiza mu racket y'okuba ssente. I don't know where my son got the money. Tuzijja ku maama we. Kati batandika okuba ssente ziri fake. Basajja balina teete. Ne babagamba mulete obukadde 10 tuba 15. They did the first time, the second time. Bakunganya, they are accumulating money. Kati babatuka ku million yaka. Ne bagende na teete we babasanganga nga tebaliwo. After 3 days ne babakubira essimu awutwavuddewo. But let us meet at Equatorial Hotel at 6 tubalete sente zamu. 6, 7, 8 up to midnight. Nabasajja ne bajja ne babakwasa ekisawo kyabwe. As they were getting out of Equatorial Hotel, the police Kabangali stopped on a paper nini. Ne babayoola. When I heard that my son was among them, I went to the CPS. Told them, arrest the Kabangali people first. You explain it to me. How did the Kabangali people sniff this information carrying money? How come that the Kabangali people arrived after the people had left? But Mr. Mirundi, you have a name who can expose you. Yes, I have a name, but I'm an expert on public relations. Expose me. I say meeting, an impromptu meeting. Oh, you, Warugis, I'm going to put it over Owange Nafayona. Owange Nafayona, in the sentence, the value of Mukubi Day, Nafayona, yea. Because I'm a smart guy. But you are exposed into, you know, one of Mufere or Mubi, University. Yes. Police in the Mwana wa Mirundi omugaga atakubyate sente. Akubyate sente. Anti bwe bali balowooza. Bwe bali balowooza nti you can blackmail me, you cannot blackmail Mirundi. Mirundi can defend himself. This is why I did public relations. So mbagamba nti kakatunulira. Economy egudde. They started nabagamba nti tumuli human. You brought this man as governor, deputy governor, to deputize a senior man, meaning you are grooming him. I hear there is a man the president wanted
to be governor.
Because media never concentrated on certain candidates. So I came up and said, how will this man feel? Ndiyali bera permanently deputy. How? What he should do?
That's what you say.
At least make it suffer. Omusajja omuwogwa minister omugobe ku myezi 6. Nenga kino church kozeeki. Neto muletera mulala. Kati mweche bakoze economy bagisse totally. When you go to Bank of Uganda, it has no money. Meaning the governor must resign. Twakyali ku defending akati.
True. The statements that come from the Minister of Finance, yes, and from Bank of Uganda.
But Gobi has been making directives. Gobi has disappeared from the media. Who was giving stupid directives to the economy has disappeared from the media. So that the target should be this man. And you say for me, I fight for people I don't know. I don't know this man. The governor, see, I don't know him.
It's called Atingi Ego.
I don't know him. I cannot even pronounce his name.
Atingi.
There was a man, Maringa. I never seen him. Nakadema Pounson Maringa, the director of currency in the Bank of Uganda. Hey, man, found.
Mirundi, you cannot defend Atingi Ego when the economy has collapsed and the country government says we don't have money. Imagine the government saying tetulina sente. Government is in America vending to get money.
The day they will remove that governor, the economy will stabilize. I want to tell you.
Anti go obanga kanti bachikola delivery economy egwa
yes, bachikola delivery tirovewo. Tokolanga kona.
Sajja yalemereddwa.
Ogambi tokolanga kona.
Sajja yalemereddwa. Economy eganyi.
Tokolanga kona. The man who has been providing medicine, wrong medicine to the economy, the patient called the economy is Gobi. But Gobi has disappeared in the media to direct the blame on the governor. Gobi has disappeared.
Mirundi, omusajja oli goyita Snr, waga nti mustamiva anyo omwenge ekyemisana ekyeggulo mutebire.
Yes.
Was a special economist.
Let me tell you, I'm not arguing about that.
All of the hardest times.
Did Maringa print money? A plan that was supposed, chartered by Bank of Uganda, to collect money from the printers, diverted to Britain. From Britain, it came with the luggages that the Monitor and other stupid newspapers, the head up mercenaries, claimed we are printed money, extra printed money. No kalima pounds, no kalima. Ajakuduka misinde wana.
Ate yakola kimukazi watu.
Ya poundsinga ku musajja.
Kwaliko emigugu egitaleka kubeera ku
gajani.
Emigugu.
The luggages belonged to Mbire and Mandela. But the police did not have even the courage to interrogate them. Because the target was Maringa.
How did Mbire and the other know?
Yes.
Poleni ya Bank of Uganda yatekeke emigugu? How did they?
Paid up media. These idiots in news.
Babitegera batya.
Society tesobola kwajuwinga. And when it comes to printing money, abanyampi bebakwata agendo smaka tabukanga abanyampi. Emunyampi tuchijja mu Bwakabaka. When the Kabaka polluted the air, Mugabe, somebody would stand up and say, I'm the one. Emunyambi is somebody who takes responsibility for what he has not done. What had Malinga done? Can you print man alone? Whether you are the director of currency, but they removed Malinga. I got another man called Owori. Owori has also disappeared from me, even if I ring his number. Owori was a senior man in the refugee, the United Nations for Refugees, had been transferred to Malaysia. A very rapid job, paid heavily. Bamujayo, like this man, innocent man in the Bank of Uganda. They corrected him. They were Muyambis and Bamutwari wa Museveni ku COVID. Museveni asked him, if I rock a Kampala for 2 weeks, how much money do I need? Museveni na calculating it. With the milk, with the what? Baba pe kituguru. Nugu watude. Ba munda. Boba lisend. Lieutenant Kananjina narrate bijanja. Yabioleza kawempe na yetaliwo. After using it, they dump you. Bakunyiga bakbato damu kwogera. Owori. Ebifu. Bagamba gundi omukazi oyo omukadde. Vamalo bajugana bakomyo. Vamalo iwange kyagaana. Bunjoka tutinga no mwata munne. Amunuti kiduli. Kakati gundi sakasakwa bakawadde foto. Kasanyu funyo.
Sakwa. Balimba tebamuwadde.
Nguvulidde. Kitata yazzeeyo. Alina bonnyo. Kitata bamuleetera ku njega.
Ono gwe baasiba? Abudala kitata? Kitata
nze namuwonya era mama wa kitata mukwano gwange nnyo.
Bannange bw'aba yazzeeyo kitata.
Yazzeeyo.
Teyampuliriza.
Yazzeeyo.
Kitata.
Ate bwe bakola.
Kitata wanimpuliriza.
People don't know.
Toli wa kika kyange, otherwise you can.
People don't know that Kitata was an innocent man from day one. He had been given security.
You know what?
By government.
Innocent?
Yes. Had been given security, police guard, right there. Kitata was moving with his guns openly. Kitata was taken to the court martial. But the Bijambia people who were arraigned before court in Masaka escaped. Abakedde mu kooti ya Masaka balabye Katemba atali musasulire. Abasajja bavunaanibwa okutema abantu ebijambiya bwe batwalidde mu kooti bajifulumye ne badduka. Olwo abaserikale ba prison ne bakuba amasasi mu bbanga nga bali tebayimirira kwesooka ekibira. Where is ekibira near Masaka court? There was a waiting vehicle where these people entered. And this was a well-organized plot. The Kabaka was in Nkoni. There was a function at Kako presided over by Makubuya. So the security was seen in Masaka. This is when they decided to take these people, not handcuffed. Kitata Nabagama, you people, you are idiots. Why? How can you say that you have found Kitata with a golden pistol? It's only Gaddafi who had the golden pistol. If you find, use the condoms under the mattress of your son who is 5-year-old, are you saying he's the one using them on his mother? There must be an intruder, a serious one. So if you find Kitata with the golden pistol, Kitata collapsed. He said, Ngajijawa. Good Nabogola. Tasobola kwata kubakala moja balumba ne bali awone ne bafumbira nemmere. He cannot handle the Kalamajongo warriors who raided his home and his security company. Kitata is with them.
Yazzeeyo.
They first.
But ne Kayihura mukomiyo.
Kayihura, I think, is a bitter man. Kayihura is a Catholic. We Catholics, we take things seriously.
Who are the Catholics? You?
Yes.
You are Catholic?
Yes.
You started by being a cardinal in a Zanzibar, but then you are Catholic now.
I don't know what
I'm handling.
You don't know what I'm explaining. If bofumbe bijanjalo ebyakatogo oloze minwe kiki ekigifuula nga giri soft supu ona amazzi agagiyiseemu. Even though I believe in the tradition, but I have traits of a Catholic. Ebyasigalamu
Okay, so Mwaba Catholic, you are saying Kakura is a Catholic, so he must be a bitter man, and then you said, we the Catholics. Let me now understand how Catholics behave when used and dumped. Used and dumped.
Catholic Church. Catholic Church, you never young Abalokole. Yavudeo Murundi Kumku education. Catholic
and
Church
they brought valid reasons.
Yes.
I want to applaud the Catholic Church.
Because the Catholic Church
for being too organized and bringing
Catholic Church
credible suggestions. Those reforms
let
are
me explain
real
to you
for the
how the Catholic Church operates. Catholic Church is who is in power because its structures are entrenched. When somebody is asked, what's the most powerful embassy in Uganda? You can say that American embassy. You can say the British embassy. No, it's the Vatican embassy.
The Vatican.
All of the churches belongs to
the Vatican.
All of the Catholic schools belongs to
that one.
The nuns and the... So the strongest embassy in Uganda is the Vatican embassy.
It is also a fact that the strongest institution in the world is the Catholic Church. Yes. It's no doubt, it's no question. The strongest.
But Catholics are agitating for power. This is why many Catholic priests came up with this one, this Mogeri. They are not excited like a Baroko who should be in power. The Catholic Church is very strong. They outlive the Idi Amin. They have outlived the many good. Catholic Church is really relying for power. Even in Malawi, they fought to Kamusi Banda, but a Muslim defeated the Kamusi Banda. In Kenya, the Baroko were excited. In fact, in Kenya, this man, the vice president, his wife has a church. Gachagua. This the wife of Ruto, even Ruto, yatandika kuyimba mu kwaya. Malawi, what? A Morocco won in Malawi. In Zambia, Morocco won. In Kenya, Morocco won. The Catholic Church is not bothered.
They are not bothered.
As long as you don't interfere with their interests. You stop them from recruiting, from running seminaries. Cut off their prayers. The Catholic Church was the first one. This is a breakaway.
So they don't.
And this is why. So how do
you relate the Catholic Church to Kaihura?
Because that's why except the diluted one was a Kenya. But the strong Catholic, no humiliating.
How do you put a disclaimer? How do you put a disclaimer on Kenya? Diluted.
Wherever you come, Kenya again, the Muchachi Ruvaga, Okusoma, Kusande, Maya Dukiranga Yolikasera. Never Mufuda, nobody collect Canis Ecclesia, Yari Chairman Wakachi, Manyachi Sokolanga Chiamukola, Gagenzo Kusembera, Yamukuba Cabonero, Tiamua Westia.
Na sawa satu paka tano ate bagikuddiramu ekiro ku sawa 4 tugobere bulungi ku mikutu jonna eja mitimbagano Baba TV Uganda atinange boyagala okungobera genda ku Simon Muyanga Lutaaya ojja kuba osanga ebyo byonna byetaaga okumanya twongere okunyumyamu Mirundi Joe Biden president wa America amaze nakkiriza okusisinkana mwami Museveni ekintu kyakirese wakalega bicha nti tajja musisinkana human rights record mbita muzimba mudumu. How has Museveni fixed
Let
this?
me tell you, many African leaders don't live for power on their own. They are directed by America. If you don't know it, Obasanjo wanted to get a third term. When he visited the United States, Bush Senior refused to see him, and he said, I can only meet you if you surrender Taylor to ISIS. He went. But they had negotiated a deal which paved the way for Liberian peace. And Taylor be given a mansion, all of facilities in Nigeria, and he would not be persecuted. He rushed back Obasanjo, surrendered Taylor. Gaddafi told them, now that you have surrendered Taylor to ISIS, all African leaders will end up in The Hague. Gaddafi was listened to. But eventually, he went back to the United States. Bush told him, don't you think that Nigeria can work without you? And Obasanjo has written it 3 volumes. Obasanjo, a soldier, Obasanjo, the leader, and Obasanjo, the overseer of Nigeria. Obasanjo. This Julius Nyerere yakwata omusajja we n'amufuula omulalu n'amuteeka mu Dar es Salaam nga ku Constitution Square. Nyerere okadde, Nyerere otwavuwazizza, Nyerere genda. The man pulled the crowds.
A madman.
Yes. Kakati, kisajja kirano ebikyogera bituufu. Nyerere n'abayita. I want to retire. Togenda ne badda mu Dar es Salaam ne bakaaba ne bakola. Yabaga nti, you people, you are not honest. Why do you go to the man from morning up to evening, the man who abuses me? You are not honest people.
If you want me.
Hey.
Mbagamba ngenda titogenda.
Ate nga mugende w'omulalu.
Yasiba nvuma ngende gye musiiba. Ate muyita mulalu.
Era Nyerere yabagamba nti there will always be a virtue. Let me go and oversee you. Nabaletea Ali Hassan Mwinyi. The contenders was Salim Ahmed Salim and Edward Sokoine, Prime Minister. Edward Sokoine was killed in an accident. The other one disappeared in the thin air. The Zanzibar. He brought Ali Hassan Mwinyi. Nyerere died out of power. Moi,
but with great influence,
went to the United States to meet Bush. Bush refused to see him. He only met the foreign minister, Oko. When Oko went back, he was killed, assassinated. He was a fool. Why? If the president of the United States refuses to see our president, why do you go there?
You are head of state.
Bagenda ne bakola mu Uganda ne bagamba, the worst performing government institution is the police. But one of the best people who have performed well is Kasinji, a spokesperson of the police.
What are you saying?
What are you saying? Do I can't get the medal? When he abused Museveni, do I can't get the medal? It can't be. But they don't reason. Kakati, era Bush yagamba Moi, go back and address the press conference to the effect that you are retiring. It could be that Biden is telling the president to retire. Because I remember I accompanied the president to US and Condoleezza Rice told him, Mr. President, why don't you retire and become Secretary General? Museveni said, Mpaka serikali. Me to be mpaka serikali. Have my cows to look after. I'm not in the power because I have nothing to do. Waliwo musajja Sudan, bamwita Abraham Obani, yateekawo ssente. An African leader
Mo Ibrahim.
And I said, do you believe that these African leaders are killing to power because they don't have money? They are the richest. So the issue is not money. Then Condoleezza Rice asked Museveni, Mr. Museveni, you have not stashed money on foreign banks like other African leaders. What is your insurance? Museveni said, my insurance is a peaceful Uganda. I'm going to remain in Uganda. So me, I know. Museveni knows when he will go. And I'm seeing actions of a retiring president. And I'm telling you, we have principles that guide succession. One, a retiring president must ensure that his successor will guarantee him a peaceful retirement. In Uganda, who can ensure a peaceful retirement for Museveni than his biological son when he was serious?
No.
A retiring president must ensure that his successor will not establish a strong political power base. You are saying he is weak. And he has managed it. He is showing himself, demonstrated that he is an independent man. He is running away from his father's shadow, but he is remaining a very obedient son to his father. Very unique. Three, a retiring president must ensure that he will not be surrendered to the international bodies like ICC. Can Muhoozi surrender his father to ICC even if it is not? 3, a retiring president must surrender power to somebody he knows. Knowing in politics does not mean that I don't know you, Muwanga, and you don't know me. That's why in court, when you go to stand as a surety, they ask you, can you guarantee? Ntaja kuduka. Relationship you na yeye ilirudawa. Kakati, all of this ejo, era Muhoozi akirina. Which means, tibano bwembamba labanga bazanya. Chobola bambagamba nti realism means there is no Muko who can succeed his father-in-law. Museveni left the waliwajoga court,
obusungu America bwe yasooka okukozesa
okiraba
ng'egaana okulaba Museveni what the issues
eno savo giraba
gye tumaliza.
This is a survey made by surveyors abagenze ne basurveyinga ettaka hamu lyakayanira balisanze gyeriri ng'ettaka lino bamubyeko ne yiika 85 ne bakiguza omuyindi wa Serena Kalugiri yazze mu musango yakikira Buganda Land Board amwavuwazi ekisajja ekyansakisoninga kino kyeki surveyor kyekikulira Wakiso kyekikulira Luweero kyekikulira Buganda Land Board naye gwe kyetukugamba ye Kalugiri ayinza okudduka tewali kizimbe kikuba yingina naye gwe tujja kuttira wano ebyo byebakozesiibi kubyasiza mutwe wano you can see somebody there. Chigundo wabidde kabaka mu court. The man has been called.
Mukiswaza kibulikikana bubi.
Andi kubulidde.
Kibulikikana bubi.
Bobe bamuyise mu court. Ne byasama.
Wale yangu dabana bamutese ggulo.
Yes.
Omusango Dr. Kasassa.
Let me tell you.
Nembu kabaka ye kabaka nawe oli Muganda. Kabaka ngutawa wabirwa.
Atia. Kabaka grabbed the Mulira's wife, Mutesi. Mulira went to court to challenge the Kabaka. But the court ruled that the Kabaka is not suable, but sue Mutesi as an individual. Matayo Mugwanya, when the Kabaka failed to swear him in, after winning the Maokota South to go to the Buganda Lukiiko, he went to court and sued Mutesi. This is new. It's you who are Kabaka talaba mukamando yacha yasama. Atalaba mukama yasama ati. If you don't want to be challenged, then avoid the challengeable things. Ne seri modern ngago byenkubulidde no gama mbu omwana yayina okundagira how knowledgeable abage basobola okundagira to okundagira you must be more knowledgeable than me. Mumugere ne mulimbe ebiri mbu advisor wa Museveni kusasira. We have a handle and an advisor. An advisor must be kuyikoyo. A public relations manager and a public relations officer are different. So why
can't Haman and the Kabaka talk?
No.
As king and subject.
Kalugiri, why do you drag yourselves in this? He's
a lawyer. Look at him as a lawyer, not as anything else. He is a lawyer.
Baba Kalugiri Baloza, they are making inroads in Uganda. I'm more powerful than these people. Chapa mutako ndachikupa ni chisirika. Nachuba chamule moku pamu. Kakati nkugamba.
Say that on TV.
Nkugamba nti ono omwana bobe nyini bebamu isogenda mu court. Bobe nyini. Ate ne bwefuula ne bogamba mbu atatutte Kabaka mu court. Tujja kuziwoza tuzijeyo. Tumusobola kubba property yaffe. Kuba muleta Kalugiri. Aligenda ne baguddamu. Kalugiri aligenda ne baguddamu.
Kati ate okutte busungu bwa Kalugiri.
Anti nkubuulidde.
Ogenda kulwana n'abantu babeka.
Yes. So nava tetujja kukkiriza kutwala property yaffe nga bayire mbika.
Anti ettaka bwe liba lya hamu. Ettaka lya hamu alina n'obujulizi. Kooti rule the same way.
Bakanga.
Hamu musajja muyivu, musajja mugezi. Bw'atandika kyatandika. He's also a lawyer.
That's why Muhoozi has defeated you. Do you find Muhoozi anywhere?
On Twitter.
Wano bagole gundi ennyonyi enfu emivumba Have you seen a deal in the military where Muhoozi's name is mentioned? When he wanted to be a bishop in the...
It cannot be mentioned now, but maybe after this government, we'll know.
When you want to be a bishop in the Orthodox Church, you don't get married. Muhoozi has not got politically married. Has he ever made a comment? Is he making a political comment? Is he friends? You tell me which political statements has Muhoozi made?
He has avoided political statements.
Yes.
So is he free as a soldier to visit his friends?
In fact, they were more hated than Muhoozi because of their involvement everywhere.
You said here that the Kabaka is your friend.
No,
can't you therefore?
No,
let me tell you. Is that possible?
Museveni is going to kubanga oyina okumanya nti Museveni Katonda yamuyamba ayina factors ezibeerawo zimufuula relevant. You cannot solve the Congolese crisis without Museveni's involvement. Okitegeera ekyo?
Yes.
He is the most experienced person in the region.
True.
Ekitegeeza issue bwejja Museveni mufuula relevant.
So could it be the reason Biden wants him now?
Yes.
Could that be the reason for change of
heart? History, a man who has hosted two American presidents, toyinza mulaba bambiyitabo byabwe nti gundi nti tebamubala.
Mwali mu bitabo.
Mubitabo mwali. He hosted two American presidents, has hosted two popes, an Anglican. Ekitegeeza rekodi ya Museveni.
He has hosted the Queen.
Has hosted the Queen. His relevance is still there. Singa sibako abakobe batikomeze nse abako bebanda mayininga Museveni.
So
we can say
Mr. Museveni has solved his diplomatic conundrum with America for now.
Nabagamba nti Museveni has handled very well the post-election period. Museveni does not wait to be pushed like a wheelbarrow.
By deploying Muhoozi to silence the younger people who are making noise and remaining with the freedom to do other
successfully penetrated the once non-penetratable area of Bobby Wine. Muhoozi has successfully.
I agree entirely. The talkability on social media is now big. We talk about Bobby Wine and talk about Muhoozi.
Nti bano bakayanja bagenda mu entertainment industry ne bajunuuna. Bateka okulonda kwa abayimbi ne kubalema. Nga bagala kwa masanyalaze nakano kakagombya kalina omuntu okalinga biringanye yalemala. They ended up undermining the music entertainment industry. The way Muhoozi is moving is different.
But how does
when I was at Chivuru Chakezo, it was a beehive for all musicians.
Kenzo.
Yes.
So you mean Kenzo is the rallying point now?
Yes.
We congratulate him.
Yes.
Eddie Kenzo.
Eddie Kenzo is now a factor. Bakayanje chebayo none eri ku center. Ngabaka lokuinsolinga bumasanyalaze kakagomba.
Ate wagantu waliwo abagala okumuta ate abategeeza ki.
And Kenzo.
Yes.
Those ones can happen, intimidating you. How many times may I have survived poison 5 times? Thugs, I was watching them. Nalimba laba ku byuma byange. Battled again Mutungo County Club. Omusajja bamuyita gundi bali bamitani. Nga assembling emundu
omwogera bulijjo. But now as we wind up
Kenzo bamutisa but I see Muhoozi
olwedda kikazina ezibulayo entono njala kuuza Museveni yasobola okulwanyisa bino byonna n'atereza olutale Congo ensonga y'obutale mu Kampala emulemi
nedda nabagamba nti problemu ya Museveni mu butale he is working like a Muganda man anodi Muganda man wabayina abakazi babiri nga balwanagana abaga nti mujjeko ettaala mufukamire mumpoleze kati bombi n'abakwata ku bisambi gwenkuteko yawangudde and you continue you fuel battles kabuli omwagenda kandanyewo mukutteko
Jaketala. Mufukamire.
Museveni wants to satisfy all of the factions.
Which is not possible.
Which is not possible.
You cannot play double.
He play. Oyinza convincing abantu omukazi abadde asamba abantu mu owino nga tamulaba.
Obutale abwagaza bagagga abo.
Kyenkubulira yabula decision. Nakugamba.
What's the problem with these markets?
Kataba kange okalaba. Buli kimu nchi document nze. Nakugamba offered on Wednesday 31st January 2018 at 3 p.m.
Obutabo obwo kanso na samudi obola abwagala.
Nkugamba.
Nebuli wabunsa ndaba bwa page satinga ntwalira kyalo yakata. Mudi obole. Tiza kuleta butabo bwa page.
Techa alyacha wandika dami. You scan. Golaba mu newspaper nga mulimbi story ebinene. Who buys these voluminous books? Ani achabigula even the cost.
So you scan?
Scanning.
Page
President Museveni Nkugamba. Kampala markets were sold to private businessmen, like many other government noble policies, which are abused by the stealing group clique. The decision to return them to the vendors was right. The businessmen had imposed exorbitant rates on the poor vendors. Therefore, President Museveni's intervention was intended to help the poor. President Museveni directed that if the private businessmen had acquired them legally, they should be compensated. Do you know the person who carried out this parliamentary committee that recommended that businessmen be compensated was Olanya. It's the Olanya Commission. It was the Olanya Commission. Parliamentary Commission that recommended that the markets go back to the vendors. Nkugamba. President Museveni directive President Museveni directed that if the private businessmen had acquired them legally, they should be compensated, and the Ranya Committee agreed to his position. Nobody at this stage opposed compensation. However, after President Museveni's directive, the thieves raised their heads to steal public funds, as they usually do. Abusing a noble presidential directive cannot be blamed on the president. This was election period. The thieves, as usual, came up with a plan to steal billions of money. They knew very well that governments the world over are sensitive during election periods. This is when they brought up the compensation demand. The thieves penetrated the market vendors by powering money into the groups. The money created the groups started inciting gullible vendors. Those
so where exactly does he want the markets to belong?
Yakugamba Museveni. It is not part of the NRM policy to surrender the peasants to the economic sharks. It was not the policy of NRM to sell markets to businessmen, as done by the late Sebanachis. Buddeyo Mubandu. But Museveni's dilemma is this. He even directed nti abatunda obutale obutebayina na powers yali bakutte. This is government land. How can a few people stand up in Kiseka market and sell a market, a land which does not belong to them? Kakati najja akola ensobi yagamba tibumba mwagala okulonda ba leaders awabo obutale abo mugende muleete electoral commission erijesteringe gundi bona fide vendors baba registering fe mu taxi nabagamba nti abayina taxi mu Kampala wadde batubye ne batumalawo tetusukka 10. All of the taxis you see in the city bananyinza tetusukka 10, and in many cases bananyinza tebajja bali mu government mwe babbira. Boyita aba taxi benyini genuine taxi drivers, veteran taxi drivers tebajja, abasinga bubbi bali mu government. Kakati what does it mean? Nti Museveni bagenda ne bamulimba abatakisi bagenda kusikana Museveni nga zisigadde zikola. Abataki abasomesa bagenda bagati okusikana Museveni amasomero ne kaggulawo. We bamubira batwala abafere abo minister batwala yabafere. If Museveni is meeting taxi drivers in Kampala, then they cannot be transport services.
Tamale Mirundi Snr tujimalize. Ensonga yakata y'obutale mulembe.
Ani kubulidde nti obutale tebuyina kizibu. naye ino kitegeera the remaining land in Kampala eri ku butale na taxi park abafere gye baagala okubba. When you look at Kiseka Gundi obe bonna Owino market was bought by a group. Kuba Museveni yabagamba you can have connive and have a group. Mwina okufuna businessman as a partner oba government evuddemu. Kati what these people did tewali ayina mudaala gwa nyaanya asobola kukola mu katale k'Egwandegeya balinnya waggulu ayina mudaala gwa nyaanya ogw'emitwalo 3 yegatta azimba akatale ekyo kya Museveni kifu. Kakati mu Owino Museveni bamubba naye Kisaka lidda wa Kisaka era aliyingira Kisaka. Abasajja b'omu Owino baagula akatale ako ne basasula city council sente zaabwe. If we want to remove them bano abaakagula they sold their land ne bagula akatale ako advertised by Kampala City Council bababba ne bagenda bwa Museveni bakisaka n'obusuma bwabwe bubanukako ne balimba Museveni.
Kisaka yakajja.
We have compensated anti bamujjera ku group yemu.
Is actually trying to solve a problem. This problem is actually bigger than.
Kugambye ate eri bigger ki. If you want Kiseka nga oyagala Owino market oba any other decide is it going to be a market? Does it have a future as a market or is it land for development? Answer one. Two, Kiseka Owino was bought by these people and the state council took their money. Museveni was cheated. Omukozi yagamba mbu babasasula bakayongo babanja sente zaabwe. First, if you allowed the Indians to come back, why did you cheat your local people? So first,
because the Indians had genuine ownership of this.
City Council.
The
Kabandas are just confusing himself. Kabanda is a this woman, a Luganti woman. First answer one problem. These markets were bought by traders. Answer those people. Kabanda
bought from who?
Yes, from government, from state council. Babu tunda ba state council. Owino ne bagitunda.
So abagoba kati yani. Ani abagoba kati.
Anti baba sasula. Kati Kabanda yewu we bachi. Gero gambe Museveni to have two problems. As we chase out to this woman, the market was ate Museveni bampangidde. What do I in each apacha Owino market? Echapa chowino marketing achivaawo mundaka yonolenda lwali lusalu na chivu
tewali wo
ate wabira wati echapa bayina echapa batambula na chombo cha Owino bamugulira babbe Museveni. So the issue is simple. Ubagenda bakubuli ebyobusiru. We have brought 100 passes, yes sir, but you see Kampala, we don't want to be, people will not be Kampala. Markets cannot be in Kampala, even in Nakasero was yes, but we are bringing 100 passes. How can you get a modern ship for a Mirundi Island? If you construct your men who cannot produce children, how can I at the same time organize the biggest maternity ward? Bongo tibaina. These are idiots. Okitegedde.
Oyagala bana ozimba maternity nene yabasajja.
If people are not going to be in Kampala, they argue.
You are decongesting Kampala, you are depopulating Kampala, yes. And you are bringing 100 buses and then giving market.
We to someone take it until Bongo will win Nagisi. Mass communication.
You criticize, you are allowed to criticize, criticize.
You have a rebel group that is attacking police stations, but you are rendering the riders who are youth nga njona nafude mu motoka wazana nenzina nga ndava police ijaka aba border. They are creating a number of unemployed people. You command you bagenda wa Museveni Kisaka uba mutwe. How can you remove a strong padlock on a door in a village where the village is suffering robberies? Are you sensible? When you have a rebel group you have, which is forcing you, Museveni used to say surrendering. We cannot donate land in Addis Ababa to rebels, but he is surrendering his own police stations to the rebels, who are not taga, they are not even known. They are not even everywhere they go, the police run is away, and Museveni donates land territory to them. Before you took the police there, people have been saying the police is nearby. Even if I make an alarm, it will respond. But do kabudu si, but do kabudu saba police or would less city. But Baunesa Kazi Kubantu Babuji border border. This is the confusion. I said, appoint me Kampala minister. I will solve this issue in 6 months. Yes, Mukaga.
Appointing Mirundi as Kampala minister. No, they cannot appoint you as minister. Is a disaster. You cannot even advise. You have abused everybody in Kampala. You are biased. You work for some people. How do you choose to be? No, you cannot solve Kampala problem.
Within 2 weeks.
You cannot solve that.
Because the matter is clear.
Obanga tebakusasula nga bukofira bo mwenale. Munokusasula omusazo obukofira.
First of all, mwatunda obutale
Kampala is hot.
Ne babusasula era ne muddamu ne mbutunda ne baddamu ne batunda owino Museveni ayite bakayongo bamulage documents ne bagulira owino myeka risolo of Kampala 2 weeks all issues in Kampala live emyala gya mugimubbiramu 2 issues
Mirundi as Kampala minister 2 weeks to solve the problem in Kampala.
I've defeated the organic extractors harvesting organisms from people.
I can also sing for you that across the bridge there is no more song.
Taxi driver who is jobless currently. When I'm selling my car, kakati surviving at a loading fee, beba broker waiting motor. Museveni yazijja nga takimanyi. Nga tamanyi. Business tajimanyi. Never eat it.
Mirundi tugende. I am looking at the situation.
Solve the Kampala issues.
You as Kampala minister. Mirundi as Kampala
consultant. When I get people, give Kampala, you see, there can be a country that is using diseases to undermine us. Make the Minister of Health get a genome as Minister of Health. A genome. The army, the soldiers are very good at solving issues.
We get an army general. Instead of the Dr. Acheng, we get a general. Instead of Dr. The big story ends here with the Tamale Mirundi. Zesa Simon. Naya Acheng atuyambi okulwanyisa ano obulwadde. Mirundi. Acheng byakoze sola biko.
Oyo yatambula nabyo byo yatambula.
Mirundi Acheng byakoze sola.
Acheng kyali nagenda.
Rwanyisize byonna Mirundi. Respect people who have performed for us. Abasajja bakoze bulungi.